3209 7th Street. This was, man, I'm losing my train of thought. This one was extended 90 days, and you can see he's made some more repairs. He's removed some of the shingles and got some more fabric up on the roof, getting ready for shingles on it. As of today, the back side of the house now has probably about half of the siding on it, and the back door is in. He sent me some more pictures just a few minutes ago. So he's continually working on it. It's a work in progress. So my recommendation is let's give him 90 days and
That'll work,
let him
man.
continue
That's good news.
to make the
Who
improvements.
He owns about 2 houses within in the West End area, and he's been working very diligently. He came before us, and he's done well.
Yeah.
Wish everybody do that.
Me too.
All right, so we have 2 new ones. This one's 2216 Loop Road. This house, we've been battling this one for quite a while through property maintenance. They never did anything. It became open. We moved it into condemnation. I believe Cam Parsons is going to come here tonight, or someone that he is representing will be here tonight wanting to buy this property.
Okay.
And if that's the case, I have no issues with giving them a couple of weeks to close on the house for the new owners to be able to salvage it. The house could be salvageable, but if no one comes forward, then, I mean, the owner knows about it. I don't know if they will be here or not. This is a Hayes house, so I don't know if they will be here or not, but possibility of a new owner wanting to pay cash for it. It'd just be a little time to give them time to, if they're wanting to fix it, I would say give them time. If they're planning on just buying it, tearing it down, I would say go ahead and condemn, let it go through the process. They'll have plenty of time to tear it down themselves.
I don't really, why would you suggest condemning if they just wanna?
If they're gonna tear it down, that way we don't have to wait. We can go ahead and start the process of our demolition. They have time to tear it down
I got you.
themselves and not have to go through the city. But if they don't do what they're supposed to, then we don't have to come back for a second here.
Just tear it down.
If that's what their plans are.
Yeah.
If their plans are to rehab the house, then of course we wanna
Are
give
you
them
at
time.
liberty to say who might wanna buy it?
They didn't tell me who.
I know someone that was interested, but they wanted to fix it up.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's.
So there's been, I think there's been a couple of offers made, so I don't know which one they're supposedly accepting.
Sure.
Well, at least if Parsons comes, there'll be entertainment.
That's the truth.
And then we've got one more.
Sure.
This one's 2204 Dinah Washington Avenue. This one open to the public. We just had some more squatters back in there a week before I went on vacation. I say we just move forward with this one. We have not been able to get in touch with any owners to this. It's been posted. No one's contacted me.
Who do we think the owners are?
I think they're all dead.
Oh, wow. Do we know who the heirs are?
I don't even think there's any heirs. The lady that I sent the paperwork to on this house, she was paying the taxes on it. She was actually trying to purchase it herself, and her lawyers finally gave up trying to find an heir to purchase it from.
Oh, wow.
So she quit. She's not, and nobody's.
Does that property go to the state? Yeah.
It would depend. There are usually heirs somewhere, even though if it may not be an immediate one. I think Mr. Bobbitt spends a good portion of his time tracking down said heirs to various properties. Ultimately, if nobody pays the taxes on it, it will end up in a tax sale. So.
Interesting.
So I don't suspect anybody's going to be here for this property tonight.
Okay. All right, anybody have any more questions? No. Thank you.
Thank you.
Re-elect Mayor Maddox, you have any comments?
I'm gonna just let that sit there for you.
Could you hear me, re-elect Mayor Mike?
We don't have anything, Mr. Tiger, but we do have two items for executive session.
Y'all must, you have to go back and watch my show today. I featured Brandy Johnson and Cassius Lanier, and we just had me and Cassius had all sorts of fun endorsing you. Because your commercial came out right into us.
Well, back after
And Brandy's too, your commercial came right into hers.
That's why we run them, baby. That's why we
That's
run
right, man, absolutely. I appreciate that too.
Thank you.
Okay, Brandy,
So I've got one thing to go over with you guys today. If you remember back at the end of January, we talked about the Sister Cities Commission. We advertised for resumes. We had 2 positions that are currently vacant. One that expires in March of 26, and then one that expires in January of 27. Like I said, we had 3 resumes that we received: Miss Ernestine Young, Gisela Deloach, and Andy Paxton.
okay, I'm recommending as a member of the board too, Ernestine Young, and Andy Paxton. Andy, the thing is, he and his family have hosted, for 20 years, they've hosted delegates in their house. And all 3 of his daughters have gone on trips too, so he's been very hands-on. So those would be the 2 I would recommend.
I agree. I support that.
Everybody good with that?
Now, did you want, which one did you want to replace?
Ernestine to replace Chad,
Mhm.
and Andy to replace Donna.
Alrighty, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Scott?
Good afternoon, council.
Afternoon.
I start up here at the top of page 2. We're on page 10. You'll be authorizing the purchase of equipment, supplies, or services from Hatch Company total $27,934.56. This is a previously budgeted purchase that comes from purchasing, and looks like it is for the wastewater recovery facility H2S probes, which if y'all have any questions about what those are about, Miss Michael will probably be a better person to answer them than me. On page 11, you'll be authorizing the purchase of equipment, supplies, or services for the TFR Fleet Center. This is a total of $10,917.61. And again, this is a previously budgeted purchase from purchasing. On page 12, you'll be authorizing disbursement from District 6 improvement funds to the Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports Commission. This is a total of $700 and is doubled up and will be on Finance Committee this afternoon. On page 13, you'll be authorizing a disbursement from District 6 improvement funds for Eastwood Middle School. This is a total of $1,500, and if my notes are correct, that was actually on Finance Committee last week. On page 14, you'll be authorizing a disbursement from District 6 improvement funds for Caring Days. This is a total of $2,000. And again, that one will be doubled up on Finance Committee today. On page 15, you'll be authorizing disbursement from District 6 improvement funds for Woodland Forest Elementary School. That is a total of $1,500, and again, will be doubled up for Finance today. On page 16, you'll be authorizing a disbursement from District 1 improvement funds to the Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports Commission. This is a total of $700, and will be doubled up for Finance Committee today. On page 17, you'll be authorizing a disbursement from District 1 improvement funds for the Tuscaloosa Public Library. This is a total of $500, and again, will be doubled up for Finance Committee today. On page 11, you'll be authorizing disbursement from District 7 improvement funds to the Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports Commission. This is a total of $700. And again, if my notes are correct, that was presented to you on Finance Committee last week. On page 19, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with L&D Moore Contracting. This is a total of $42,825, and it was discussed in projects last week. On page 20, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute amendment number 1 to work authorization with Atkins Realis to include a phase 1 cultural resources assessment. And this is related to the cargo overflow ramp project at the Tuscaloosa National Airport. It was discussed in projects last week. On page 21 and 22, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a conditional work authorization for Atkins Realis to provide design bid phase services for the Tuscaloosa National Airport runway 422. This again was discussed in projects last week. On page 23, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of agreement among Federal Aviation Administration, Alabama State Historic Preservation,
officer and the city of Tuscaloosa regarding the airport runway 422 expansion project. That was again briefed in projects last week. On page 24, you'll be authorizing the Tuscaloosa Police Department to sign a memorandum of understanding with Culture City and Rooted Tuscaloosa to accept the donation of a sensory activation vehicle. This was discussed in public safety last week. On page 25, you'll be authorizing the CFO to draw drafts for the Kicker Road Sidewalk Project right-of-way acquisitions. That comes from my office. On page 26, you'll be authorizing amendment number 6 to the fiscal year 2025 general fund budget. This was briefed in finance last week. On page 27 through 30, you'll be appointing individuals to serve as election officers for the 2025 municipal election for the city of Tuscaloosa. And this comes from the clerk's office.
Can you back up one? Did I get
Yes, sir.
disconnected? The Chief National Kicker Road Sidewalk Project, what is that now? That was on finance last week?
It was not on finance committee last week. That's gone straight to council from office. This is a project that is ongoing in Mr. Tyner's district. This is allow us to begin the right-of-way acquisition.
Yeah, the letters have gone out to get right away from that. So I used that, it was my funds from that we got last year, the
The 500,000 that was
500,000. That's where
designated.
that came from.
Is that where the money's coming from?
Uh-huh.
You don't know where the money is at.
Yes. And we've got, Mr. Bobbitt, I've got two, I'll see you after the meeting, I've got, was able to get two more.
And Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, I just want to brag on Chris Miggs and his team. Yeah, I just got to brag on them, how efficient they've been working within our district to catch these illegal dumpers. And I want to thank him for taking his time out on a Saturday and his staff to come out and ride around with me and show me how to really look at where this trash is coming from. So let us all be mindful to throw all of our trash in the garbage can, not on the street.
They
Yes,
will
sir.
get-
There's multiple departments in here that are involved.
Thank all of y'all.
But thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's funny, we had some, there's a part of Kicker and then a part of Sixth Street going toward Crescent East. There was a lot of same place doing illegal dumping, but they also left their power bills and all the things with their names on it, and so TBD was able to pay them a visit.
Yeah.
That was some time ago. Let's see, we have, projects, finance, admin, community development, and today, I don't know if Norman has sent anything in, but we'll start the recommendations for the facelift storefront improvement program. I've got, what I just did, I just had my top 5. That's what I'm gonna present as far as me personally. So, and then who,
I still recommend whatever the total available is and the total requested is, if we verified all the applicants as bona fide, just proportionately allocated. It'll go down in a deep, dark well over 300 grand.
It is a lot. I was talking to one of the counselors about making sure that, especially those who have not asked for very much, making sure that they receive or see what we can do to find some more money out of contingency.
I'm agree with that. But again, I just, what I looked at, and I can say this, save this for the meeting, I think there was a lot of people that, anyway, I'll wait and say that.
I only
for the
have
meeting.
one that I'd recommend.
But anyway, we got, that's very important, and I'll see if Norman had left something or rescind something. I do want to,
That's gonna be
Who do we need
community
to
development,
cover?
right?
How are we gonna go about it?
it'll be in community development
Okay.
today.
You the chairman, sir.
Cassius will,
Yes, sir. Yeah,
You're a leader.
I know.
You're a leader.
yeah, I think he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You should buy him lunch.
also, I want to congratulate,
You should too.
Dr. Richard Rush. He was recently named one of the 6 outstanding young leaders through United Way.
That's great.
Yeah, congratulations.
We were shocked to find out he was young.
Well, there was somebody,
It's all relative, man.
he's one of the, actually, it was the Middle Age Leader Award. There was one on there that I said, really? Was it 5 or 6?
5, yes, sir.
5, top 5, okay. Congratulations, and they're having a luncheon to honor you and others
That's correct.
next week?
No, sir, it's actually in about a month.
Oh, okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And, okay, Zoning Board of Adjustments meets Monday. Raven, I can't thank you enough for serving on the planning and zoning. I was rapidly texting you last night during the meeting, and
That's always so.
I know, right? And another one, but I was saying that y'all don't get paid enough. But there were a lot that were continued. About 5 were continued, or you would still be there.
Yeah, well, we will still be there next month.
Next month, yeah. It was
It's an
about
honor
3
to
hours, I
serve,
think.
though. It's an honor to serve.
Wasn't it about 3 hours last night?
It felt like it.
Oh, goodness. Okay, is anybody have anything to bring before the committee? Okay, is there a motion to go into executive session?
Second.
Have a motion second, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, sir. As your city attorney and an attorney licensed to practice law in the state of Alabama, I can certify that this executive session is to discuss with their attorney the legal ramifications of and legal options for pending litigation, controversies not yet being litigated, but imminently likely to be litigated, or imminently likely to be litigated if the governmental body pursues a proposed course of action, as well as to discuss preliminary negotiations involving matters of trade or commerce in which the governmental body is in competition with private individuals or entities or other governmental bodies in Alabama or states or foreign nations, the discussions of which would have a detrimental effect upon the competitive position of the party to the negotiations if disclosed outside of an executive session.
Okay, we have a motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?